You can also get flashcards for kanji, or you can be like me and get an app for your phone. I don't know about Android and stuff, but I have an iPhone. Let me turn it. I turn all my devices to Japanese language so that I can study. So see, all the menu stuff is in Japanese. And I go to my Nihongo section where I have all my apps related to Japanese learning. Kanji Flip, and they're organized by JLPT level. So you can pick you could start with level 1. That kanji means old. And then I think it's furui, right? So then I show answer. And of course it is furui, and it means old. And then you could say down here, honor system, you gotta say you're right or wrong. I was right. There, that means now, ima. Show answer. See, now, ima. And I'll say it right. And it'll keep track of how many you got right and wrong, and it will show you the wrong ones a few more times, and it'll tell you your percentage score on the top. Okay? Oh, Kanji Flip. Kanji Flip also has a section for kana. When you see kana, they mean hiragana and katakana. And then browse mode, if you turn it on, that means it won't quiz you. It'll just let you look through and learn them, like practice. And then when you turn browse mode off, then that's when, if you click on something, it will quiz you. Another thing you should do after you learn your hiragana, katakana, and some vocab is to try and write. You can use Mixi, M-I-X-I, or Lang 8. Actually, Lang 8 is more important. Here's the URL. You can keep a diary in Japanese, and people who speak native Japanese or really good Japanese are going to come by, and if you mark that you want help, they have tools on there where they correct your grammar for you and explain, you know, one time I said, you know, I used atashi, and somebody commented that that's correct, but watashi sounds more elegant, she said. Sometimes they don't speak English because they're not learning English, so they'll just comment in Japanese, so that will give you another opportunity to practice your reading. The idea of Lang 8 is they'll correct yours, they'll correct your grammar in what language you're learning. It seems like it's mostly Japanese, and then you're going to go and correct their English. So sometimes you'll get a friend request and it says, please help, you know, I'll help your Japanese, you help my English. So if you need some help, maybe keeping the diary on Lang 8, there are books specifically designed to help you think of things to write and give you some more vocabulary. My friend Crystal had this book. It says Nihongo Nikki Noto, which means Japanese diary note. And it has like vocab and suggestions and guidance on how to start writing simple diary entries, and then you can go on and get a little more advanced. So if you need help, some people just like to wing it, go out and try it. Some people want a little guidance. That's okay. There is a series of books. Well, they're not a series, but they're all a bunch of Japanese learning books, all by the same publisher, and they're all kind of the same size. I only have 5 right now. I'm looking to build my library of these a little more, both for me, my husband, who's just learning, and if our future kids are going to be bilingual. So here are 2 books on particle usage. They're both by the same lady. Okay, so particles are, you know, wa, e, no, de, ni. They're the things that indicate in a sentence who the subject is, what the object is, or indicating where an adjective is, and so on, or denoting possession and that kind of stuff. So like, So here, they're talking about de, and that's at. So it's saying, at. They're showing examples of how to use the de particle. Here's one about verbs. So here it's showing you how to conjugate the verbs in the basic way, and then they move on to more conjugation. Verbs are actually very easy in Japanese. Japanese verbs are probably the easiest verbs to learn. Easier than English, easier than Spanish, easier than all the Romance languages. Because there's only past and present. And the verb tense doesn't change based on number or gender. That makes it really easy. And most of them are they're very formulaic in their conjugation. There's not a lot of special cases. So Japanese verbs, very easy. So if you've always been one that's like, I'm really good at memorizing nouns and other vocab, but I suck at verb conjugation, Japanese is the language for you. Really, really easy verbs. So I have this book, 501 Japanese Verbs. I don't like it because it's all in Romaji. There's no hiragana or anything at all, no kanji, anything. So it's like, okay, I know how to say this verb now, but I can't read it. Anyway, so I'm definitely preferring this because they obviously do have Romaji in here. But they also show you the kanji. That's very important. Okay? This one, really good. And then for people like me who have a really solid base in Japanese, but are kind of don't know how to speak, or I'm working on sounding more natural and getting my Japanese to flow, I have these two books. Japanese core words and phrases and making sense of Japanese. And actually, this guy right here, Jay Rubin, he's the translator for my favorite book ever, which is Wind Up Bird Chronicle, Nejimaki Dori Kuronikuru. So these are things that are like, that maybe I didn't learn from just studying on my own, or even if you're in a class, they might not teach you. These are for more like how to make my Japanese sound natural and flow better. There are other books besides these two, but these are just the two that I currently have. And then I spoke about Kansai Ben, or Kansai dialect. They also have books for those who are interested in, this is like, you want to wait till you're more advanced and then move on. You can learn how to speak Kansai Ben. This is also really good. Okay, again, they use Romaji because some people are just going to use Romaji no matter what, but they also show you the real Japanese down here. Okay? So, one of the main reasons that I'm really big on manga is because a lot of us are visual learners. And actually, Japanese, I think, attracts people who are more artistic and more visual than your average non-native learner. So, I really like that as you're learning, if there's like, the visuals just help. I don't know what it is. Another thing you can do is if you're a tactile learner, like if you learn by doing with your hands or like physically doing something, you can get like, this is a sewing book in Japanese. So if I really like sewing, let's find a page. Then I can translate and read these directions and make something. And it has, it has little notes along the way saying what to do to make this outfit for the doll, the sewing for the doll. So if you learn by doing, you can get cookbooks, so you can read the directions and actually do what it says in the directions. So that's like tactile learning for Japanese. And then, of course, like I said before, once you're a little more advanced, you can move on to trying to play RPG-style Japanese games, which are very heavy on storylines, so you're going to need to really be able to read, or else it's going to take you forever to get through the game. Actually, this one, I don't understand what it says all the time, but I love this series, so even though it takes me a while to get through, I love this game. Pokemon, really easy. You could probably play Pokemon right away. I mean, you definitely need to know your hiragana, and some vocab. But after that, I think you could go on to here, and this will help you a lot. Especially if you've already played this game, then you're like, oh, I remember that this part of the game is about this. And then when you look up the words, it'll be more easy for you to get along. This is one of the manga that my husband picked up in Japan. And there was an example of something in here about the furigana that I wanted to show you, but I can't find the page, and I forget what it was. I think it was a series of kanji, but the furigana was in katakana, and it wasn't saying how to say those kanji, but it was saying what they wanted it to mean. Does that make sense? If I remember, I will make a really short video and explain. Okay. Some people have asked me if I live in Japan. That would be super awesome, but I don't. I currently live near Los Angeles, California, which has in it a place called Little Tokyo. So that's where I get access to a lot of my books and CDs and stuff currently. The dolls are also sold here in various places. I met Junko Mizuno in Alhambra, California, which is kind of nearby it's a little bit of a drive, but relatively close to where I live. In Little Tokyo, they have a variety of Japanese food that you can eat. Ramen, strawberry cones pizza, which is my lunch today. And you're wondering, why don't you just get Pizza Hut? Because it is kind of a drive to go get this and then bring it home. But I'll show you why it's better than Pizza Hut. It's because you can get stuff like salmon and avocado pizza with ninja crust. If you happen to live near Los Angeles, or they have another strawberry cones near where you are, definitely check it out. It's a little pricey, obviously more than Pizza Hut, but nom 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 nom. I sometimes end up with extra comics, like let's say I bought this one, and then I ended up finding a set that was a really good price that already had this one in it. But I only had this one, so I went ahead and got the set, and now I have 2 of these. So, I'm going to do a giveaway. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, where's that one? Oh, 5. I have 5 manga to give away. 3 of them are shoujo. And 1 of them is a more advanced, and it's for adults. It's not bad or anything. It's not hentai or anything. It's not bad, but it's you definitely have to be 18 to win this one. And then this is shonen. So I'm gonna give these 5 away because I don't need them, and they were cheap. They were probably all under $1 or at under $2 or something. And they're not all number 1. Like this is number 3, this is number 6, this is number 4, and this is number 7. This one is the only one that I have that's number 1. So if you want this one and you're the first one to do what I'm about to ask you, I'll give you this one. First come, first serve. So these are totally free. I'm going to give them away. You have to be an adult, or if you're not an adult, someone who is an adult in your household needs to be the one to contact me if I'm going to send you one of these books for free. And that's so you could study. Hold on. Yeah, and this is one of the ones that doesn't have a lot of furigana in it. So I may not end up giving this one away because it might be too hard. Anyway, so I definitely these 4. So, and I'm sorry that I only have 1 shonen and 3 shoujo. Anyway, the first 4 people who reply to this video and can introduce themselves in Japanese. You can look it up online. There's no rule or anything. And you don't have to be on screen. You can... Hi! Blah, 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 blah. You can do that. So if you're a newbie to Japanese and you make a video reply and you introduce yourself, and also it would be really, really cool bonus if you could write out something in Japanese and hold it up. So the first 4 people, I will send them one free manga. And it will be random, but just remember that I only have one shonen. So, but if you're a boy and you don't mind having one of these, that's fine. But then at least if you're somebody who has no Japanese manga, you now have something that you can study your hiragana with. Okay?